There's two separate kinds of insert moldings, typical in the book. The smaller ones, which are taken out of 5/4, which is 1.25 inch thick material, so it's a beefy molding. They're about 3.5, 3 3/4 inches wide, so it makes a pretty good size molding. And all three of them have, I'm going to hold them up, but you'll get much better detail in the book. All three of them have slightly different profiles. Okay, but the one thing that's common in all of them is this 3/4 notch that I'm tapping with my thumb. That notch is what's meant to receive the insert molding. So I'm going to just focus on one of these, and I'm going to show you the moldings that you have an option with. First one's called an egg and dart molding. It gets its name because this looks like the bottom of an egg cut in half, and you have the dart going up, so it's an egg. But installed, it would look like that. If you're doing a glaze on that finish, on your finish, all the nooks and crannies on that molding are going to gather that glaze. It's going to jump off that molding for you. So it's a good way to get your finish to pop on the right kitchen. The second one, very, very popular years ago and still pretty traditional, is just a dental molding. We call it dental molding because it looks like teeth across the front. Kind of has a little ripple at the bottom, but it installs right in there, and once you tack it in, it literally looks like it's part of the molding. It looks like it is part of this crown, but it's not. It's a secondary molding. And the last one, still pretty popular in beachy areas, is this nautical themed rope molding, part of the sticker hanging out the bottom. The rope molding just mounts on there, and if you've got a Saxony door or the marquee door that are found in our rope molding doors, it can look pretty nice because you're carrying that same theme throughout the kitchen that's on the door. So anyway, that's a nice look. Here we have the architectural crowns. These critters are big and they're also extremely expensive. You're probably looking at finished $170 a 8-foot stick for these. So we don't sell many of them because they are so expensive. They're actually coming out of glued up material. There's a lot of cutters and profiling that go in, so they're expensive. But in a big, tall architectural kitchen with 10-foot ceilings, it's a good choice. So we have three of these, 1622. This one, a little bit different. The differences are always right in here, top and bottom, slightly different profiles. This one is the 1621. And this last one is 1623. Should have known that. And these all, again, have the same similar D10 1.5 inch space instead of 3/4. And they are meant to take, again, a big egg and dart molding. We have a big dental molding. And we have a big rope molding. Big rope molding. Battleship rope. This is called 384 molding. It is a cleat that is meant to go, if you look at the backs of all 6 of the moldings I just showed you, get this the correct way, you've got this kind of angled slot. See if the cameraman can get that. And this 384 molding is meant to glue into and insert into that slot to create a mounting cleat. So you would order this and this separate for extra charge. Conestoga will mount them for you. Oftentimes I don't think that's a good idea because sometimes when they come mounted they're not exactly 90 degrees, so you might want to have some control over that and order them separate. But the intent of these is you can now mount, again using your imagination, pretending this is the cabinet face, you can now mount this on the cabinet, and again like the 801 molding in our other video, you can push and pull this molding off the face of the cabinet and screw up through the front frame, versus this application where you're going to face nail it, either into the cabinet face or into some blocking you've got there. So that 384 molding isn't a bad idea. If you're going to want to have it protruding, you're going to want this finished, so then it's a good idea to buy this, because if you use your own scrap molding and pull it forward, that bottom edge, when you pull it forward, that bottom edge is not going to match your crown molding. It's going to look a little ugly. So just something to think of as you're going through your crowns. So that covers the standard but more kind of decorative crowns. We've also got, Conestoga has tons of what they call custom crowns. These get kind of pricey, but I'm not gonna go through all these. You'd be here all day watching me talk. But you can just get an idea. They hold this box up. There are tons and tons of different crown moldings in the book that allow you to dress up your cabinets. Say you're in the Southwest and you want some kind of an Aztec Santa Fe theme. That's a really interesting molding to sit up on top of your cabinet to give you kind of that Santa Fe bungalow look. So there's just so many moldings in here to pick from. We encourage you to go through the book and try to find one that will really dress up the kitchen and make it kind of your kitchen. If you have any questions on crown moldings, give us a call. I can't understate, again, the importance of making sure you pick your crown in conjunction with your ceiling height. Give us a call if you have any questions on how to calculate that.